See how she looks. Trim away the excess wood. Next step, I flipped it upside down. Flipped it upside down, so my next step is to assemble the previously cut 2x4 pieces. So this is this piece. Goes on the bottom. I gotta decide which is going to be the back and front. I think the front will be here, because this is a nice edge. Now these are on 15-inch centers. You see that? 15-inch centers. So I'll mark 15, 15, measure from the same end. And 60. Get that nice and flat. So I've clamped the table top upside down to the other table, and I've got the 5-foot 2x, the first one, clamped flush with the back edge of the table and flush with each edge. So that will be my starting point. Then I'm going to glue and screw all these in, and this will be the upside down part of the tabletop. I did leave an inch right here, like I said, on the front, and this is my personal preference for like clamping things and working the edge of the table. So I've got my square. I'll get everything squared up, and then I'll glue it. I'll put the glue on, and then I'll screw it with these 3-inch star bit construction screws, and they came, most of them do, came with my own little, it includes a bit that I'll put in the drill. And I find these star bits work the best. I think they're better than square bits, and they're definitely better than just a regular Phillips screwdriver. The Phillips ones tend to strip when they get under a lot of pressure as you're drilling in. We'll put 2 in each one. 2 screws in each board. Nice and square, flat, flush, even. makes it easy. Oh, twisted on me. Perfect. All right. We'll do each corner first to get everything square and lined up, then I'll do the centers. So. Good. Four corners are done. It's fairly square, but they're finally squared off when I screw it down to the top down to the base here. That's when I'll really get things exact. But right now, we get the center supports in. Square. And forget to put the glue in. I don't need sawdust, making them higher on one end than the other. See how that looks? Flipped it over. Now I'm going to square the top up. And I've marked this front. This is the front towards me. And once I get it squared up, I'm going to screw it down. And I'm going to leave the glue off of this one, just to save time and in case I ever want to change this top, I can just unscrew it and put a new one in. Put a new one in. I'm getting this all lined up at the back. I'm going to use my square for that. Back is good, so I'll anchor one side of the back with a screw, pull it into conformity with a clamp, and then anchor it all the way around. I've got, for the top, I've got smaller screws. These are probably bigger than they need to be, but it's what I have. These are number 8 by 2. I could use 1.5 inches. Got to figure a way to pull this into alignment with the table, with the square edge of the table. It's just it'll be a matter of hammering. Look what I found. Look at that. That's glueless. Alright, let's anchor that before it escapes. I don't want to run into my other screws because these are a little long. I might be able to use, yeah, I think these old screw holes will work good. I was hoping that would line up. This one doesn't. These, nope. Oh, can't have everything. Where would you put it? What happened there? The screw broke. That's where it was in development, if there ever was one. These screws are cheapo. Midwest fastener. I don't know what they're made of. Get some stainless steel ones or something. cheapo screws that you strip out, break off. Where these things are made. Made in Taiwan. Great. Well, I'm going to have to do a trip to the hardware store. Don't want to do that right now. So I'm going to call this finished for the time being. I'm going to move on to the legs. Cut out the legs to length. Hopefully I get them all the same length. And for that I'm going to put the table saw back up here. These 2.5-inch square drive, they just, about every other one, just ripped out and wouldn't do the, I've had trouble with these in the past. I should have known better. But anyway, I'm going to go get some inch and a half star drive construction screws. And we'll put the legs in the corners once I cut those out. And I have the 3-inch screws for the legs to attach those. Cutting out the good sections and using this because the legs I want them to be straight and even and in good shape. So some of these, like I'm not going to use this piece because it just looks, you know, it's like treehouse material. And this one has a big split in it. So, all right, I'm cutting out the legs, and again I've cut a master leg. The first one at 33 inches to make sure all the other ones match it. Get them perfectly even, and then run it through the saw. Perfect. So I've got 4 legs. And then there'll be, some of these pieces will be the leg doublers. There's the upper doublers, which are 17.5, and the lower doublers, which are 8.5. And that is the support for the lower shelf and its frame. So now I'm cutting out the upper leg doubler piece. I want to make sure it's square on both ends because it helps support the legs. And it's there's 4 of them, and it's 17.5 inches. So this is going to be my masterpiece right here, my master. And I think I'm going to try to square this off and then remeasure. There's the 4 upper supports, and I'm not going to do the bottom 8.5-inch ones until I have legs on, so I can match each one to the leg. individually. I got the table back up here, and I'm gonna fit the legs on. The legs all cut out and the upper supports are cut out there. I'll line them up and screw them in and glue them. Goes like that. So I'm using my Carpenter square to get these as square as I possibly can. You want your legs straight and square. I've already put the glue on, so that's real good. So now I'm going to use the 3.5-inch nails with the star bit drive to screw these in. I've got to get my star bit. These work so much better than the square ones. I almost ruined my top with those square ones. I stripped out about 4 of them, and I'm not going to use them. I'm going to have to go to the hardware store. All right, so we're putting got the one leg. Pretty good. Can check it again when I put the shelf support on. Let's do another leg. Sits right in there nice. Make sure it's tight up close there. Glue, 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 glue. Plenty of glue.